Younger Toguro is a demon feared across both the human and demon worlds. A former martial artist who abandoned his humanity in pursuit of absolute strength. Long ago, Toguro was the master of a respected dojo, but after watching his students slaughtered by demons during a tournament, something inside him broke. Consumed by grief, rage, and terror at his own weakness, he accepted a dark reward and transformed himself into a demon, gaining eternal youth and a body built purely for combat. Since then, Toguro has wandered the underground fighting circuits as an unstoppable force. His infamous 100% form is the stuff of nightmares. Muscle tears and swells across his body until he becomes a towering engine of raw violence, every movement carrying enough force to shatter stone and crush lesser fighters instantly. Even among demons, few willingly stand against him at full power. Yet the frightening thing about Toguro is not his strength alone. It is how calm he remains while using it. He does not scream or boast. He simply advances, certain that eventually all living things break before overwhelming power. Yet, beneath all that muscle and cruelty is a man punishing himself, searching for someone strong enough to either destroy him or prove that his sacrifice of humanity was meaningless after all.
And welcome back to another action figure review. And today we're going to be looking at one of my holy grails. And this one has been my holy grail ever since like I was 13. Back in 1994-ish was when I first got introduced to the Yu Yu Hakusho anime and manga, and then the video game. Back then it was on Super Nintendo, and as a totally blind person, it uh, it amazed me that the Yu Yu Hakusho video game on the Super Nintendo was one of the only fighting video games that is like totally blind friendly, because you don't need to jump all over the place. There's no switching side. Basically, you stay on your side, your opponent stay on their side, and then you get to select which attack you want to use. Like you gather energy, and then you use one of the four attacks. If you hold that down arrow, and then you use one of the four boost. If you hold up the out arrow, and then you hold the back arrow, and then you can block, and then you hold the forward arrow down, and then use one of the four arrows to launch a punch at your opponent. It was like this really weird amalgamation between RPG and fighting game, and it was totally blind friendly. All I had to do was memorize which button did what, and that was it. Like I was on totally even ground with my sighted peers. I spent so many hours playing the first Yu Yu Hakusho video game, and then the second one on the Super Nintendo system against my high school friend. We had so much fun. And anyone who get into Yu Yu Hakusho knows Taguro being one of the most beloved villains in the series. I mean, you can even say that maybe he's not so much a villain. Maybe he can even be some kind of an anti-hero, depending on how you look at it. But ever since playing the game, ever since watching the anime, I have always harbored a secret, uh, well, maybe not so secret because I talk about it a lot, a wish that one day someone would make me an articulated action figure of Toguro. And finally, it happened. And the people that brought this to us is a Bandai in the figure art line with Yu Yu Hakusho. So far, they have released Yusuke, which is the main hero of the uh, anime, and now we have his chief rival during the Dark Tournament saga in the form of Toguro. I am a little bit sad that they went with 100% power Taguro rather than his base form first. Don't get me wrong, definitely wanted his full powered mode, but I would like to start with his base form because honestly, when you see his full powered 100% mode, that's almost at the end of the dark tournament. Like we don't see that. Like the majority of the time when you were exposed to Toguro was in his base, more human form. Yeah, we saw him like 45% power, 50% power, 80% power a couple of times. But yeah, like the Toguro most people know is that base human form. Um, but 100% form is what we got, and we are going to take a look at him today. This figure is quite expensive. He runs around roughly around $100 US, and comes with quite a few face plates and hands. But honestly, he could have come with some energy effect because Taguro at his 100% form definitely demonstrated a lot of like auras and energy wave attacks and stuff like that. So I think they really shortchanged the fans a little bit here. The figure itself, as we can see, he's very well sculpted. I mean, he's mostly gray. I know in the anime sometimes he was shown either gray or black. But yeah, this version that the figure art gave us is mostly gray, like a little bit like stone texture, and he has all the crazy muscular details with his veins popping out all over the place. I mean, just look at the muscle details on his upper arm and his back. Just a very crazily sculpted figure. I mean, he kind of uh, reminds me of some of those early Spawn action figures. I think there was one Spawn in particular called Battle Class Spawn, where when you remove the armor, then you see like this very basic Spawn body with all the like anatomical muscle details and gristles and tendons, and like it's really gruesome. This reminds me of that. Like this is not just a muscular guy. This is a guy whose muscle got muscles on top of muscles, and he's got like, you know, veins popping out. As as someone once said, his veins are bigger than most people's muscles. That's how ridiculous this guy is, right? Even the these shoulder pad thing, these are actually muscles too. These are like muscles that grow out from his shoulder after he turned 100% form. In this case, figure art Bandai made it into like a shoulder pad, and you have to be careful with that because I don't think it's easily breakable. Actually, you can take it off, and you can see it just go on the peg here, and the peg just fit into a little hole inside this piece, so you can pop it back on. Now, I don't think it's easily broken, but you really want to take care not to break it because it's an essential part of him. This is not a case of, oh, if that gets broken, we'll just go without the shoulder armor. No, that's literally a piece of his flesh. So you need that. Okay, so don't get too rough with it. The good thing is if they just sculpted this on, whether it's part of the shoulder or part of the arm, this would be very restricted because of how bulky this piece of muscle is. But because they made it articulated on its own joint, so you can adjust it uh, sticking out like this if you want to lift his arm up, right? Or if you want to swim, have him reach for the sky like this, right? It's not going to get in the way. This is another time when I have to kind of poke at Mythic Legion and yeah, guys, Four Horsemen, please like fix your shoulder armor pauldron situation because in 2026 we really shouldn't have action figure arms being limited by bulky shoulder armor. There's a lot of better solutions in this case, right? I mean, this is a big chunky piece of flesh on his arm. This is not restricting. I mean, maybe going out to the side a little bit, but he can still reach like a full 90-degree T pose, no problem. His butterfly joints perfectly functional. His arms can go out all the way, go 360 even. Okay, he can spread his arm out really wide, like he's going to give you a big hug. Or getting a hug from him is probably not a good idea. There's no reason for shoulder armor to restrict arm movement anymore. Okay, it can be solved. So in addition to we already see very good range for arm and the well-designed shoulder butterfly joint. He also has double jointed elbows, and this is very good. Like look at the you can see the joints there, but it's really well blended into his sculpt. Like the elbow joint is really nice. And for a big beefy guy, he can achieve quite a nice bend in his arm. But again, that's really nice. Uh, Torso joint also very nice. Look at that backward bend. Huh? Look at that backward bend, and then forward not as good. But what I want to again point out is you look at how far he bent back, and then it's not breaking the sculpt in the abs. Like it's done so well that if we bend him forward, there's no gapping in the back. We bend him back, there's no gapping in the front. This is really well made. Leg wise, again, big beefy guy. He can kick super high, full split, no problem. He can even touch his own butt with his foot because of the double jointed knees. Like this guy, it's a pure hand candy. There's nothing lily la la, nothing falling off, and it's just a lot of fun to fiddle around and get him into crazy poses. Again, that just makes me feel that they should have given him some energy effect for you to replicate some of his attacks on the show and in the game. Now let's look at some posing photos and then we'll come back for the next segment. 100% Toguro costs roughly around $95 to $100 US, so he is not cheap. He is definitely on the high end side of things, at least for a poor boy like myself. He stands exactly 7 inches to the top of his flat top head. He comes with 4 face plates for himself, an additional face plate for the Yusuke Urameshi figure that you have to buy separately, of course. 7 alternate hands, and sadly, that's about it. Articulation-wise, he is a genuine hand candy. I mean, this is one of those figures that you can fiddle with again and again and on and on. You can just keep him on your desk for a long time without getting bored with him. He is really well articulated, all the joints move smoothly, and there's nothing that fall off easily or run the risk of going missing. Well, his head kind of falls off a little bit easy, but that's easy to solve. Now I know I just gushed all over this figure, and I mean why not? It is a really well made figure, and it is a figure I've been waiting for such a long time. Like honestly, if you ask me who are the characters that uh, if there's a figure being made of them, you would buy it without needing to know anything about it first, and no matter how much it costs, as long as you can afford it. Toguro is like right up there, along with Sagat from Street Fighter and Heihachi from Tekken, um, and probably Siegfried from Soul Calibur. Um, yeah, but Toguro is definitely up there with one. It's one of those characters, but it's also because that I've loved this character so much and wanted an action figure of him for so long that now I'm going to talk about how disappointing he is. Now we already talked about how good his articulation is and how well sculpted he is. So where does the disappointment come from? Well, if you looked at um, other people's review of this guy, you would already know where I'm going with this. This guy is too damn small. Okay, I'm not even going to beat around the bush. He's too damn small. Let me bring in this one. This is a statue of Toguro in his human base form. This one is made by Ben Presto and is also in the 1/12 scale. So this two is the same guy. Okay, this two is the same guy. Uh, One is before he go crazy and transform. So and then the other one is when he's ready to throw down and seriously go full power. These two should be relatively the same size, or the 100% transformation right here should be significantly bigger. Okay, considering they are both in a 1/12 scale. But as you guys can take a look here, how big the size difference is. Okay, I'm going to stand them shoulder to shoulder, and you can see that the base form is almost a head taller than this 100% transformation. This is not okay. Okay. Uh, in a bit, I'll show you guys some size comparison shots, and you will see that if you match him up against small figures, then he's okay. He's big and intimidating. But the moment you introduce regular size figures or bigger guys, then you can totally see that our 100% demonic Toguro is not big enough, right? Like he is an immensely muscular dude, but he doesn't have that overwhelming size uh, present on your shelf. Uh, like when you stand him next to guys like Omega Red or Sabretooth or Venom, he seems too small. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that can go toe to toe with those powerhouses. But if you look at him in an anime and even in the game, you know that he's supposed to be a towering, hulking monster of a dude. when he's transformed into his 100% power. I mean, even in his base human form, he's huge. Like he regularly carry his older brother on his back. So this is a big guy, and when he go 100% transformation, supposed to be even bigger. I mean, the bulk is there. Like yeah, okay, you know, you stand them like this, you can kind of see that yeah, he is definitely very wide. He's definitely very wide, but he's just too stumpy. He's too short. He also tend to have a little bit of a hard time standing, although there's nothing wrong with his balance. But he is very top heavy. His legs are very skinny, so uh, if you're opposing him, sometimes he tend to fall over when you think that he should be okay. Yeah, like just like that. He almost fell over again. I just barely touched him. Okay. I think one of the issue I can see with this figure's height is the lower legs are way too long and the upper legs are too short. Why do I say that? Because if you do this, you bend his knee, see how high his foot is reaching. His damn foot, he's almost kicking himself in the lower back. And human legs proportions not supposed to be like that. Like you, when you try it yourself, your foot should barely touch the back of your butt, not go all the way up to your lower back like that. You shouldn't be able to kick yourself in the kidney. So I think if they thicken him a little bit and then lengthen his upper side and his thighs a little bit, then he would be at that perfect height and perfect stature. But for some reason, they gave him short, little, stumpy thighs, and this is the result. He's too damn short. So even though he is a well-crafted action figure, and uh, like if he is the only one that you want to get from the Yu Yu Hakusho display, I think you'll be very happy. But the moment you start stacking him up against other action figures, other characters, then it's when the size issue becomes very apparent. And honestly, after waiting for a Toguro action figure for like 30 years, this is really, really damn disappointing. Now I'll show you guys those uh, size comparison photos, and we'll have my final words on the matter. And as usual, thanks for checking out my review. There's just no sugarcoating this. He is a great action figure, but he makes a lousy Toguro. I mean, when you compare him against smaller characters, he looks fine. But when you stand him next to larger characters, even some of the large-ish Marvel Legends, then he suddenly seems too stunted, just too undersized to be what he's supposed to be. At the end of the comparison, I stood him next to the base form version of Toguro from the Banpresto statue line, which is the same scale, and you will see just how undersized this 100% version is. On top of that, he didn't come with any energy effect or the right hands for his attacks. Thank you for checking out today's review. We'll be back again later for more goodies.